I'd rather be alone than date again. I'm just done. I'm done with the apps. Done with being humiliated. I'm done with being ghosted. Just done with the whole thing, really. It's impossible to meet people in person. So I'm just quitting dating. Just over it. I'm going to try and stay open to if I do meet somebody down the road. But, like, the thing to keep in mind, and everybody tells me, like, I'm not going out enough, is if you look at the statistics, you know that less than 1% of relationships are from people just randomly meeting on the street. It's not really how it works. Most people either meet through dating apps or through friends and family or through work. So I work in construction, not dating a bunch of guys, and done with the dating apps. I don't really have friends, so that's kind of out of the picture. So then you're just left with no other options, really. Like the apps are designed now to keep you on there, to keep you on the apps. They're not designed to have you meet anybody. So it kind of defeats the point. So if you've noticed, one thing I've noticed, because I've had a couple times now where I'll delete the app and then I'll go back on it and then I'll get in a cycle of doing that for a while, is I've noticed that when you sign up to the app, you get a ton of matches and everything seems to be working. You have matches and you have conversations. And then a couple days go by and it starts really going down. And then it gets to the point to where you barely get any matches anymore. And any of the matches you do get aren't conversations or don't turn into conversations. And I can't help but think that the app is somehow like showing you to people for a bit, and then they just make it so you're not shown to anybody. So then you end up not getting any matches, and then they want you to pay, and then so that you pay and then you're visible again. And I've tried that once, and then you get to see all the people that liked your profile, but as you'd probably guess, the vast majority of people that like your profile aren't people you'd want to date anyways, and they're most likely the people that you've already been shown, so there's no point in that. And then you're shown to maybe a couple more people. So it doesn't even make sense to be on the apps anymore. And then not to mention, it's just like a total humiliation ritual now on apps. Like, you're either meeting up with girls that don't look like their picture and you're just getting catfished, or you're having the same conversation over and over and over again, and it is so draining for me to do that. It is extremely hard for me to constantly think of these like new funny quips to message a girl, and to constantly be looking at their bio and all their pictures, trying to think like, what's the coolest, funniest thing I can say that is going to make them want to respond. It's insane. It's like psychological warfare at this point just to be on dating. And I don't.
Yeah, yeah, it is. When I first stumbled across this guy's video, he looked like, I thought he was Edward Snowden at first. It has become a humiliation ritual. There are so many guys there. Like he said, he seems like a very analytical guy, very smart guy, very thoughtful in his approach to it. But yeah, he's done his analysis. He's had the experience, and he has enough data he's even presented some data, because it is very rare to actually have an organic meeting with someone outside in the world. It's mostly through friends. That's been my experience, mostly through friends and through dating apps. And like he said, he doesn't have any friends, and he's not, and of course with his work, he works with nothing but dudes. So he's not dating dudes. He's not dating construction workers. It was funny that he said that. I didn't expect that. That was kind of like a left field, but he seems like a nice guy, very dateable guy. But that's the thing. There's so many of these men out there, and they have the same they have the same experience and the same outlook as he does, because the dating apps, they have become ruthless. They were fine. They worked fine for a while. I remember meeting quite a few people that found their spouse through like Tinder, which is wild. Uh, and I doubt those worked out though. I remember meeting a few people that they're like, where you're like, how'd you meet? They're like, oh, on Tinder. I'm like, okay, cool. But it, dating apps are just a waste of time, like you said. You see the same women on those things year after year, right? It's just, it keeps the same people on, and the new people will trickle in, and they're all, there aren't any suitable matches on there. And yeah, the way that their algorithm works now, they're pretty insidious with who you're shown to, who you're not shown to. Because yeah, in the very beginning, you get tons of matches, very attractive people, very attractive women. But then it stops, and then you start getting bottom of the barrel. So, and then but people make the mistake of buying all these additional tiers, and I've heard that that's a bad idea. I've heard it's not a good idea to do that. So they found new ways to generate income, because they have the worst business practice ever, right? Or their business model sucks, because if well, you're supposed to date to marry, and they I don't know if they just came to the conclusion years after, but they're like, oh wait, crap. If they actually, if they get married, if they like each other and they stay together and they get married, then we lose 2 customers. What? Two, like, it's just, we're not losing 1, we're losing 2. So we've got to change things up, and it has become a humiliation ritual. I've dealt with going on dates and getting catfished, where they look nothing like their picture. They used some older picture from 5 or 10 years ago. And I've done that too, but I looked just like my picture, because I haven't really aged much, so it didn't really matter. I wasn't lying about my weight or anything like that. It didn't make me look different. Like, it didn't make my body look different. Right? You see a lot of those chicks, they'll take the photos from up top to hide how their actual size. That's a lot of guys have to deal with that. So, it's just, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And it's just hard to connect with people in general now, the way that things are. So, hard to make good friends. And if it's hard to make good friends, it's especially hard to find someone to be in a romantic relationship with. And it's rare. I did have an organic interaction with a woman recently, but that's because I had a cute dog. I was going outside to take him to the bathroom, and she walked by with her dog. And of course, I have a Frenchie puppy, so he's adorable. And so she, wanted to pet him and whatnot, and we got to talking, and I got her phone number. But I had to get a dog for that to happen. I had to get a freaking dog, and it was just luck. He just happened to have to take a crap. He needed to take a crap at that particular moment. Walked outside, bam. But that's not common. I mean, my advice would be for men that do want to date, that don't want to go through this rigmarole of the dating apps and whatnot, is at least go to third spaces. A lot of them suck. A lot of them are just infested with liberal propaganda, and there's just a bunch of liberals there, like coffee shops. Right? You're not. You have like women meeting for book clubs there, and they're reading some feminist rag. So, but if you want to somehow find a chick, then get a dog. Honestly, I keep saying this because it's apparently it works. The best wingman you can have is a cute dog. All right, let's continue on.
I don't want anything to do with that because I should be able to just be like, hey, that's an attractive girl. I think that she looks nice. And just judging by the small bio that she has, there's nothing that really is striking me as something I'm not interested in. I should be able to say, like, hey, how's it going? Like, how are you doing? And then they respond back, like, good, thank you. How are you? And then from there, you can have a little conversation instead of having to think of this, like, crazy thing to, to message them that's, you know, better than every other guy so that they see it.
Yeah, because their DMs are stacked, so you have to stand out. The competition is fierce, and of course we've talked about this. This is something that constantly gets brought up, is the fact that women's egos have been inflated because of this, because of social media, because of all the men, because of all the simps that are rolling into their DMs. So it's become just a I don't know. It's it's the equivalent to like the job market. The job market's gone to crap. You're competing with so many people all over the world. Everything is just inflated. It's an everything bubble that's extending into our lives, our relationship. The dating scene is now just this. It's the equivalent to the Dow Jones, just overinflated. Everything's fake. Everything's manipulated.
And then want to respond to that. That's just nuts to me. There's too many options for people. I think that's really ruined it, is that men and women have too many options. So
Yeah.
you're constantly nitpicking like the smallest thing in somebody and then moving on to the next person. But people don't realize that that person, that could have been the person you're supposed to be with. You could have just went past your husband or wife.
I don't think there is the person you're supposed to be with, and either way, you'll never know if it doesn't work out. If you end up not continuing the conversation with them, so I think that's a clear sign that no, that they're not. But who knows, man? That's one of those things you're never able to prove. But yeah, it is very just it's exhausting talk like when you're on the dating app trying to talk to women. I mean, it's not too hard to come up with things to say. Like I don't know, there's certain things that you can do with your profile to make yourself stand out. Like don't say a lot. Women, but all women's profiles, they all look the same, right? They're all into tacos and true crime and sushi. They all say the same stuff, right? Sex in the City, like all the same garbage pop culture. But that's why it's just that there's no point in getting on them anymore, because most women consume pop culture, and pop culture is garbage. So garbage in, garbage out, and their whole personality is infused with it, right? If they like Taylor Swift, they're out. There's so many tells that, oh, you watch garbage television. Oh, you like the show Girls? Yeah, no, this ain't gonna work out. You love Taylor Swift? No, this ain't gonna work out. You're a Democrat? No, this ain't gonna work out. Even if you're a Republican? No, this ain't gonna work out. You're a statist? No, I'm okay. You believe in voting? Huh? Oh, a lot of them, they'll have the picture of like I voted Ed. Yeah, no, it's lame, dude. There's a lot of lame people now. A lot of lame dudes and chicks. So yeah, the pickings are slim, and we, humanity's just gone downhill.
And then you're expecting that you're going to constantly find new people that fit. And it could have been over the smallest little thing. Like they had one picture on there and you didn't like the way that their nose looked on a certain angle. So it's just so superficial, and we're expected to have lifelong meaningful connections, but we're supposed to start them superficially. So I don't know how that like really makes sense anymore. And I'm done being ghosted. I'm done with establishing a rapport with somebody, getting to know them, like talking for a couple days. Maybe you guys even talk on the phone. And then suddenly one day, and this happens so many times. One day you go to message them to continue on the conversation, blank. Or
Yep.
even worse, you go onto the app and they've just deleted you and that you're not even on there anymore, and they've blocked your phone number if you guys
Yeah.
are texting. So then what's the point? People don't even have enough respect to continue a conversation with you. So you're supposed to be continually disrespected, but stay positive and continue on. And then what? Just eventually one day you're gonna find somebody? How are you not supposed to be dragged down in life and to eventually be cynical to the whole aspect of dating when you're just treated like trash and you're just chucked to the curb immediately? It makes no sense. And I'm going to be speaking from a guy's perspective, but we don't get to date within the same bracket anymore. Like, it kind of goes to back to the point of people have too many choices. But
Yeah.
people just aren't dating within their class anymore. If you have a woman that is, say, like middle ground looks, a 5, and a guy that is a 5, theoretically, those people, if they have things in common and they like each other, they would then date. That's pretty historically how it's been.
Well, men haven't changed. It's women who have changed because now they're all going after the top percentage of men, and everyone else is not even seen as human. So if you don't look if you look a certain way, you're not a certain level of attractiveness, then you're kind of screwed in a lot of ways. You can't even find a woman if you're a 5 or a 4. Those even the 2s, even the women that are 2s, they want men that are 7s and 8s, so they'll overlook you. They will. And then to his point about, right, you go to text them, you built some rapport, you've had some conversation, and then whoop, they block you or they stop responding or they unmatch you. Yeah, I've had that happen before. Right, I thought me and this one girl, we were hitting it off and we had really great conversation over text, but then one day, just she was gone. She was gone. That's because she's probably talking to 6 other dudes, right? And I didn't. They were one was more attractive or whatever. I didn't make the cut anymore, or somebody took my place. Oh, he's more attractive, and then I like the way his personality is over that. Even though they can't really gauge your personality through just text message, right? There's not enough to go off of. Like you said, it's just we're commoditizing each other now. It's very superficial. How are we supposed to have any type of deep, meaningful relationship with someone if it starts off superficial? It doesn't make any sense. Everything is inverted now. Nothing makes sense. We live in idiocracy. We live in this idiocracy. Just look around. It's ridiculous. I'm at a loss for words every time I go outside. I swear. The things that I witness, stuff. My weird neighbors, man. But that's I digress on that. That's another story.
Up until like really just the last 10, 15 years. But now it's not the case because a guy is still looking for a 5 and he's fine dating a 5, but the woman that is a 5 now thinks that she deserves a 10. And we're now in this culture where nobody's willing to settle. And I don't think people should have to settle, but there's a difference between settling in life and being realistic that not everything's going to be absolutely perfect. And that as people, we're not perfect. So if people aren't perfect to start with, how can you expect that you're going to meet your perfect person? It makes no sense. So we've now gotten to this place where, and it sounds crazy because I'm not trying to state it in a bad way, but we value ourselves very well, and I think rightfully we should. But it's gotten to this extreme where it's like if we've kind of come to this mind state where it's like if I don't find my person that I deem is valuable enough for me, then I'll just stay by myself. But I don't think anybody's ever found that for the most part. Most relationships always had their problems. Hell, look at
Yeah.
50, 100 years ago, people would sleep in different rooms, but they'd still be husband and wife and they'd still have a life. But now we're expecting that we're going to find somebody so perfect.
I'd be okay with that. If I was married, I would like to sleep in a separate bed. I don't like sleeping next to someone because I don't sleep as well. So that I think that's totally cool, right? Or at least get bunk beds or something, right? So that you don't, so they're not like bumping into you and cuddling you. Because I really don't like cuddling when I'm trying to sleep at all.
That ticks every single box. I don't think that's even out there. Because even if you ticked every single box, just you changing and them changing in life and growing and learning new things and trying new things makes the person change. And eventually those boxes are going to get unchecked or new boxes are going to come up. And maybe they don't check the new boxes. So it doesn't make sense. So for now, I'm just not dating. But I am trying to not stay closed off to the aspect of it. So, if I do get invited somewhere and I go there, I'm not closed off and cynical and dark, that I'm, still receptive to a conversation. And,
Right.
If I'm out at Home Depot looking at plants and there's a girl there and start a conversation about a plant, then I'm open to that and that I'm not sitting in this negative headspace of, saying bad things in my head, then I'm just open to it. And it may not be happening now and I'm not actively spending my time looking for it, but if it comes my way, I'm not going to say no. So anyways, if you guys like the video, like and subscribe. Let me know in the
All right. So yeah, I'm the same way. I'm open to it. I'm content being alone. And if I meet someone that knocks my socks off, right? Obviously, no one's gonna meet the perfect lady. But I'm not living and dying. I'm not living and dying off of that. I mean, you can't be. I don't know. Like when you're younger, you're more idealistic about things, and then the more you experience, and you just get realistic. And this guy isn't MGTOW. I'm not MGTOW. I'm not going my own way. I'm just doing me. Right. I got my dog right here, right down here. That's why I keep looking over here. He's asleep. And yeah. And just like I had that conversation with that woman in front of my house, right, walking her dog. Yeah, that led to something. That led to two people texting and talking and getting to know each other. Will it go somewhere? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't have the expectation. That's key, is to not have high expectations, especially for modern women, for which she was. There is. So you just gotta roll with the punches, but yeah, be as long as you're open to it, right? I haven't shut the door on a relationship if it happens, but if it doesn't happen, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, then whatever, man, whatever. But yeah, go check him out. This is outside the order. So looks like he's got 6.2k subs. So yeah, go give him a sub, and yeah, he's got some other good stuff. But I'll leave it there. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.